You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming. It's something on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Heroes Advent, Max's Path. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm changer, we're up, and let's go! Which one? There we go, okay. Rough? Why would they treat me roughly? Because of how things have developed since you went to Vitram Park. When the Guardian Crystal shattered, it wound up destroying nearly half the city. The commercial and residential districts were damaged the most. What about the townspeople? Did they make it out okay? For the most part. We managed to evacuate most of the citizenry. There are still a lot of casualties to tend to. However, when the crystal fell, the nether beasts seemed to just lay down and surrender. Alex says that the sudden release of the crystal's crystal's magi severed the connection they had with the king, leaving them in a dormant state. Thanks to this, the mercenaries and volunteers have managed to dispatch them with ease, and retrieve any remaining casualties. This is my fault. If I didn't fall for that illusion, how's Alyssa doing now? Her condition is critical, and she hasn't regained consciousness yet. It's been 6 hours since we extracted you from the ruins. The doctor on staff says she overexerted herself. The amount of magical extension she had expended would have killed any normal person. She remains among the living, thankfully. Thank God. I'll apologize to her once I get out of here. When do they think they'll let me out? Well, that's the problem. What do you mean by that? Alaric has arranged for you to be tried in court to determine your fate. Court? Yes, a public trial. Representatives from each district will be there, along with key witnesses. I suppose that's inevitable, huh? Hey, for what it's worth, I believe you do not have harmed her intentionally. I'm sure Master Alaric thought the same, too. But, as the guildmaster and acting leader of this city, it's his duty to listen to what the people have to say. We will do our best to vouch for you during the trial, but more than that, I cannot promise. Yeah. The conversation was cut short when the sound of the heavy door down the hall swung open. Peering around the bars and cell corner, an eagle clad in a full suit of armor emerged from the dark hall. Max and prisoner, you have been summoned. I have been sent to escort you to the courtroom. Ah. The guard opened the cell door, deftly attaching manacles to your hands before escorting you both out. From the dark dungeon, through an unfamiliar reception area, back to the familiar path through the guild, and towards the office elevators. With a lot of you compacted into the well-lit elevator, you caught the glint of a name tag on his chest. An oddity, since you'd never seen anyone else wear one. You're Jesse, right? Jesse Pinkman, yes. Where are you taking us? I thought I was going to be taken to court. Oh, Jesse's moving up in the world. The Guildmaster's office will be acting as your courtroom today. With the city's destruction, there are no other appropriate space to hold the trial. Given our fair city's population has fallen into the tens, I've been assigned to your escort and bailiff of the court. He puffed out his chest, flashing the badge more prominently now. Hence the name attached to the badge. If you need something, you shall address me. I see. I never expected all this to happen. I'm sorry for everything. Save it for the jury. They will decide if you are worthy of forgiveness. Entering Alaric's office, you found most of the room transformed in what looked like a makeshift courtroom. The rows of seats on both sides were fully occupied by townspeople. Some you recognized, others you didn't. Max lagged behind as the eagle left you in the middle of the room. You could see other familiar faces seating among the jury. They all shot you a concerned look, which you responded with a reassuring smile, easing some of the worries on their faces. It just made sense to you to remain calm, despite the predicament you were in. Ahead of you stood Alaric himself, whom you assume will be presiding over your case. Court is now in session. Members of the public, please remain seated and maintain decorum throughout the trial. Thank you. A hawk and a fox stood up on opposite sides as they approached the podium. Your Honor, Charles McGill, Populi present. Oh, Your Honor, Jesus Christ. Your Honor, Shaul Goodman. Guidman? Shaul Guidman. I'll just say Goodman. Shaul Goodman, representing Mr. Cassian of the Gallanteer Guild. Our court now acknowledge Mr. McGill and Mr. Goodman as valid representatives. Please proceed with your opening statements. The fox shot you a look of acknowledgement before retreating to his side of the defense panel. The hawk remained, casting a glance at you, then turned to address the jury on both sides. Your Honor, and the good people of Crystal Coast, today we witness Cassian, the defendant, brought upon this court as he was solely responsible for the fall of the Guardian Crystal, as well as the other tragedies that befell Crystal Coast this day. At approximately 4:32 this afternoon, Mr. Cassian was found unconscious next to Lady Spring within her innermost chamber. Her Excellency was found unconscious with bruises on her back, clearly caused by a blunt object. Given the close proximity she was found with the defendant, such injuries could only be the result of a struggle against Cassian, the defendant. But that's not true! I was tricked by Ashford! Silence! You are not yet permitted to speak, Cassian. Continue, Mr. McGill. Thank you, Your Honor. As I was saying, ladies and gentlemen of the public, you may hear from the defense that Mr. Cassian did not commit any crime, seeing that Lady Spring is still alive. And while it is nothing short of a miracle that Her Excellency also survived the initial crash, she was also reported to be still in critical condition at this very moment. So, water time. Alright, guys and gals, we are back, so let's go ahead and jump back into it, shall we? I remember which one. That one right there. Okay. Alright, which voice was that? Okay. And while it is nothing short of a miracle that Her Excellency also survived the initial crash, she was also reported to still be in critical condition at this very moment. What if the injuries become too much for her? And what of the many victims that were claimed by the Guardian Crystal's collapse? What has transpired today was a tragedy and an unfair travesty befalling the very city many of us were born and grew up in, all set into motion by the actions of Mr. Cassian here. And so, it is my duty as Populi Present to make sure justice is served in this court tonight. At the conclusion of this case, after you have seen all the evidence, we are confident that he will swiftly return with a guilty verdict, punishable either by banishment or death for such tragedy committed against our beloved city and its protector. The crowd around you began to clamor. Some mocked and cursed at you incessantly, while others shot you looks of apprehension and pity. Order! Order in the court! The clamor died down after Alric hit the gavel a few times. Thank you, Mr. McGill. The other lawyer is called Goodman. Shawl Goodman. Jesus Christ. Thank you, Mr. McGill. Mr. Goodman, you may begin your opening statement. The fox quickly took the hawk's spot as he retreated to the prosecution's panel, briefly adjusting his tie before turning to address the jury. Your Honor, and ladies and gentlemen of the public, today has been a long day for all of us, hasn't it? Don't get me wrong, much like any of you, my heart goes out to all the victims of this tragic attack upon our city. But let me ask you this, ladies and gentlemen of the public, is it an everyday occurrence that we get hit by a spontaneous invasion from the King's Legion? No, right? Therefore, what the prosecution has presented to you about my client's crimes now, being intentional and premeditated, let's set that aside for now. Because given the chaos that unfolded, the fact that my client being caught within a simply awful and horrendously unfortunate chain of events is not out of the question. I mean, look at him. Vox turns his attention at you, gesturing towards different spots on your body. Could this young, demure, and docile boy who barely joined the guild not long ago truly be the perpetrator capable of masterminding all the tragedies that befell our city? Is this guy for real? What's more, if I may remind you all that according to the Polarian common law, my client is presumed innocent until proven guilty. During this trial, you will find evidence corroborating that Mr. Cassian and Her Excellency are actually on good terms, and he was merely checking in on her well-being amid the chaos, which, unbeknownst to them both, a trap was already sprung, leading to the unfortunate outcome we all have to bear witness to. Therefore, I am confident that you will find my client not guilty. Thank you. That is all. Fucking had Bob Odenkirk's voice playing in my head that whole time. The murmur around you lingered on for a while before dying out, as Shaw returned to his previous spot with a confident smile on his face. Where did they even get this guy from? Hey, he's the best. Very well, the prosecution may call his first witness. Yes, Your Honor, the people call the last person seen with the defendant. He looked aside as Max approached the witness stand, accompanied by a rather bulky ram who seemed to be the clerk. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm that the testimony you shall give before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Sic du adjuve? I do. Please state your name in full to the court. Maxwell Silverbane. All right, you may be seated. Sir, may I refer to you as Maxwell? You may. Thank you, Sir Maxwell. Is it true that it was you who escorted the defendant to Lady Spring's location? Yes. And could you tell the court the reason for that? Cassian is part of our team, and we were carrying out Master Alaric's orders, which was to ensure Lady Spring's safety. Then why weren't you with him in the end? There was an emergency on your way to the Vitrum Park. We nearly lost one of our strong points. I had to bolster our ranks to prevent another enemy breakthrough. I was confident that Cassian could handle the task on his own. Sir, just for the record, did you see Mr. Cassian going into the inner sanctum? Yes. Was he followed or accompanied by anyone? No, it was just him at that point. And do you believe this Ashford to be a real person? Yes, he is one of Cody's assistants at the Honeysuckle. The Hawk then stepped back to his panel before returning with a sword, brandishing it to the whole court. Your sword. This sword was found close to Mr. Cassian when he was first discovered at the scene. Do you recognize it, Sir Maxwell? I do. It's the sword Lady Spring gave to Cassian. Your Honor, I would like to have this sword marked as People's Exhibit No. 1 and ask that they be admitted into evidence. Does the defense have any objection? No, Your Honor. Very well. The sword will be admitted as People's Exhibit No. 1. Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Sir Maxwell, would you say that Mr. Cassian was adept at using the sword? I wouldn't say adept. He's still in training. Then, were you aware of any reason as to why Lady Spring would have given the sword to Mr. Cassian? Given the fact that he was still in training, what could possibly be so important about this new recruit of the Galanteer? Maxwell looked towards Alaric, who after a brief moment of hesitation replied with a nod. It's because Cassian is the prophesized hero. Needless to say, what Max said shook the jury to its core. Many of them began hollering and pointing fingers at him, calling him names, that he was telling lies. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and we will probably wrap the court proceedings up in the next episode. Anyway, I love you all, and I shall see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!